This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major update to share with you. President Biden just wiped out $5.8 billion in student loans. I'll give you the latest on the gas price lowering bill going on in Congress from one representative. We'll talk about the $200 gas checks, how one state could potentially give out a new $1,500 stimulus check, the $1,000 child tax credits that have just been approved, and the $2,000 stimulus check push that's going on. Plus, Manchin in the hot seat talking about what is going to happen with the Build Back Better and other domestic agendas. I'll play the video clip of what Joe Manchin says there, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So Biden's educational department just wiped out $5.8 billion in student debt for all remaining borrowers defrauded by Corinthian colleges. So basically, the Education Department canceled $5.8 billion in student debt for 560,000 former Corinthian college students. Corinthian shut down in 2015 following accusations of predatory behavior that misled students, and this is Biden's latest action providing relief for borrowers defrauded by for-profit schools. So this is just for anybody who went to Corinthian college and have student loans with them. This is part of a string of colleges that have been fraudulent or closed down. This isn't the big $10,000 student loan forgiveness plan, which is supposedly still in the works. Probably going to hear more about that as we get closer to the midterm elections, but I'll keep you updated on that. Speaking of President Biden, so President Biden admits gas and food prices aren't coming down anytime soon. So in his address to stop inflation, he's talking about that there is a three-part plan, which I went over in yesterday's video, but in terms of stopping inflation, he says, or at least short term, he says it's not going to go down anytime soon. Now, when it comes to a gas bill and to lower the price of gas, take a look at what Representative Katie Porter has to say here.
Joining us now is someone who's trying to do something about the rising prices that we are seeing across the board. California Democratic Representative Katie Porter has been sounding the alarm for weeks now. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've all certainly seen these gas prices. It's just unbelievable, really, how much it is to fill up our tanks these days. And our team spotted these prices over the weekend in California. Gas for more than $8 a gallon in downtown Los Angeles, not far from your district, actually. The House passed your bill, the Consumer Fuel Price Gouging Prevention Act, a couple of weeks ago, which would give the FTC authority to investigate any alleged price gouging by energy companies. Do you have any evidence that companies are hiking the prices unjustly?
Yes, I do. Take a look at their profits and how they have changed month over month and year over year. So let me use the example of Shell, one of the companies. They announced last quarter a record-breaking profit of $9.1 billion. That is 3 times their profit from just a year ago. So if this was just about oil companies passing along the higher price of a barrel of oil at the pump, we wouldn't be seeing these profits quadruple.
And your bill is unlikely to get 60 votes in the Senate. What can be done in that event to stop any price gouging that you say is happening? You call this a broken market, so how can it be fixed?
Well, so I think this bill is one that the Senate should consider taking up. I think it is very, very consistent with long-standing capitalist policies of making sure that markets are working in a competitive way. We have a lot of consolidation among big oil companies. There are huge corporate players here, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Shell, and others. This is a market that really needs some regulation in order to be competitive. And we have it's been longstanding American policy at the state level that attorneys general can take action to crack down on price gouging in the event of a natural disaster or other kind of emergency. And what our bill would do is allow the president to make the decision that there is an energy emergency, for example, caused by something like the invasion of Ukraine, and then to empower the Federal Trade Commission to investigate. If you're a big oil company and you are not price gouging, you have nothing to fear from this bill.
And you are, as you well know, one of the only single mothers in Congress. You have 3 children. You've spoken at length about just how you felt the pinch, certainly, as the cost of groceries have skyrocketed, gas. Last month, you reportedly gave an emotional speech to the House Democratic Caucus about just how inflation is hitting your family personally. Has it sunk in since then to your colleagues, do you feel, as far as the urgency of this crisis?
Well, there was definitely urgency in the caucus around fuel and gas prices at the time I made those comments. And I was actually responding to my colleagues' concern about prices at the pump by saying we ought to also be concerned about the prices of food, because that really is it's a critical expense for families. There are very few ways to economize. We're already not eating out. We're already cooking. We're already changing our eating habits. We're saying no to the avocado, no to the blueberry, no to the bacon, yes to, black beans, yes to other kinds of things, yes to the generic brands to try to cut those costs. And so I do think it helped focus people on the price of food as another key expense that families are facing. And so now we're able to think about what we're going to do about the food costs that we've seen. I think there's some price gouging going on. Again, a lot of consolidation, a lot of market power, a lot of monopolies in the food market. It's a handful of companies, 3 or 4 companies that control 75, 80% of the market for bread, the market for pasta, the market for beef, the market for pork. And as a result, we really have to be concerned about price gouging in times like this for food. And it hits families literally at the dinner table.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree, disagree? So with this price gouging, gas bill, lowering bill type of thing, basically it's going to target the oil companies that are overcharging. So there's no gas stimulus checks or gas checks or gas tax holiday, anything like that. It's more just to target the companies, which supposedly is to get to the root of the problem. But let me know your thoughts on that. Speaking of gas checks or gas cards, so North Carolina lawmakers proposed $200 gas tax refund for drivers. So this is still a proposal. The bill is titled Gas Tax Rebate Act of 2022. It was filed last Thursday, and basically it would give $200 to North Carolina residents over the age of 18 with a driver's license. Let me know. Good idea, bad idea? Will that help? And then when it comes to other type of stimulus checks, New Jersey Democrats block relief for high gas prices while New York moves forward to help drivers. So basically, the punchline here is that if this bill is enacted, which is called the Give It Back tax rebate in New Jersey, this could the Republicans' proposals would combine to provide rebates totaling $1,500 to most families. The Give It Back rebates represent a key component of the $8 billion new tax relief proposed by Senate Republicans. So under this Republican plan in New Jersey, New Jerseyans would get $1,500 checks to families, to most families. So that's a big thing there. I'll keep you updated if that goes through. And then Vermont will start sending $1,000 checks to parents, stepping up after Congress failed to renew their program. So this is a child tax credit program. For 6 months, Americans got monthly child tax credits from the federal government. Congress failed that. So now Vermont will send out monthly checks to households earning $125,000 and below with kids under 5. So if you live in Vermont, you have a kid under 5 living with you, you could get $1,000 monthly checks. So this is the child tax credit program going on there. And then in Connecticut, I don't have the article here, but I spoke about in the past, $250 child tax credits there. So not only are stimulus checks going out to different states and cities and counties, but it looks like child tax credits is the next thing. But do you think they should also target SSI, SSDI, anyone on fixed income or Social Security? Should that group of people get some type of check as well? I'm sure if you don't have kids or if you can't benefit from the child tax credits, then, what about you? What about everyone else who's suffering? Let me know your thoughts on that. Then also the $2,000 stimulus check. So Governor Wolf in Pittsburgh pushing $2,000 checks to Pennsylvanians, still pushing and pushing. This article just came out yesterday. So still pushing and pushing, but it doesn't seem like it's going forward. So, they have the money in the account, he's saying, and that he wants to send out the checks. So he said here, I'm talking about $2 billion that's sitting in a checking account out in Harrisburg. If we don't use it by the end of 2024, we have to send it back to Washington. So that's why he's saying that he wants to send out $2,000 stimulus checks, still pushing for that. And then I spoke about this yesterday. Phony Joe Manchin slammed for demanding lower drug prices after a killing bill to lower drug prices. So I guess Joe Manchin here, people calling him out, saying that he's speaking out both sides of his mouth. What Representative Ilhan Omar said, you literally killed the bill to do this, to lower the drug prices. Although Joe Manchin says cutting drug prices is the one thing Democrats must achieve in 2022, Bernie Sanders agrees. So he's saying to cut the drug prices, but yet he's killing the bills to cut the drug prices. So I'm not sure what to think, but when it comes to the bigger package, the Build Back Better, what's going on behind closed doors with Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin and I guess, President Biden's domestic agenda to try to get it done before the midterm elections, take a look at what Joe Manchin has to say here.
Senator Manchin, I'm going to turn to you because you are, for obvious reasons, absolutely central to any progress being made on President Biden's domestic agenda. Question one, do you think any other legislation, meaningful legislation, will get passed before the midterms?
Well, first of all, we ought to look at what we've been able to accomplish so far, which has been tremendous, and in a bipartisan way. Everyone overlooks that, thinking we haven't done anything. President Biden has had more success than most any president in the first term, and we should agree to that. Next of all, yes, I do. I believe there's an opportunity. There's a responsibility and opportunity that we can do something. First of all, inflation is harming every person in America. Everyone's feeling it hard. It's inflicting pain on the world. So we should be looking at getting our financial house in order, paying down our debt. We should be looking at also our drug pricing. There's no reason in the world why we can't negotiate for Medicare having better pricing, and also for different types of medicines, especially whether it be for diabetes and things of this sort that they need for insulin, that should be something that's life-saving and very affordable. Those things can be done, and we know that. Next of all, the third thing is going to be energy and climate, and you can't do one without the other. The United States of America has an abundant supply of natural gas and oil, and we can use our fossil and the cleanest technology humanly possible to make sure that we are reliable, we have reliability, and we have security. If you have that, then we're going to be able to replace some of the more pollutant energy in the world and help backfill all of EU, if you will. Natural gas, we have our platforms that we're talking about, and that is something that we're developing. But also we have the ability to go down two paths, a path of investing in some of the technology that's going to be needed for the transition that will happen. But eliminating one, and for the other one, that's the European model that Germany followed. It wasn't successful. We should not repeat that. The United States has the ability to be an energy leader and also a supporter of our allies around the world that are having problems right now.
So just to be clear, to those people outside the United States who worry that the ambitious climate agenda of the president hasn't really gone very far, you're saying that there will be progress.
We have done an awful lot, and that's not cracked, what we have done already. And the bipartisan infrastructure bill, that's more than it's ever been done. And we have so much more that we can do. But you can't do it by abandoning the fossil industry that gives us the ability to have reliability and security, not just for our nation, but what the world is needing today, all of our allies and friends. You can't abandon that. And right now we have a little bit of a discussion going on of which way this is going to go. But if we're going to spend hundreds of billions of dollars investing in a new technology that's going to be needed for the transition of a carbon-free or carbon-less environment and an energy sector, then you have to be able to make sure that can intersect and take care of this. You can't replace one until you have something to replace it with.
So Ryan, you look at that and you say in the coming weeks, the negotiations behind closed doors between Senator Schumer, Senator Manchin, potentially the White House.
No, the White House, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, are going better than people might realize outside of those closed doors.
What are your thoughts on what Manchin has to say? Do you think anything is going to get done? Do you think Joe Manchin is just stringing everyone along as he did for the past year or so? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, so my name is Bella. This is the tip of the day. If you make a mistake, then it's okay. You learn from your mistake, it makes you a better person. So it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We like you a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time and your support. Thanks for the likes, the subscribes, the comments. Really means a lot. Helps out the Wise Flies community and inspires me to keep giving you this news on a daily basis. No fluff. I just get right to the point. If you like that type of thing, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like that. I just like to give you the news exactly how I would like to get it to. No fluff, no wasting time, just right to the point. Anyways, if you want to check out my latest pickleball video, you could click up here. One I just played yesterday, actually. It was a really good game, and so I had to publish it right away. So you could click up there, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.